Hey, welcome back. My name is John. This is the Vinyl Village Garage. We're restoring Firebirds here because that's just what I do. Working on Project Mockingbird 1969 Firebird convertible, trying to make it very accurate or very close to real Trans Am convertible clone. I know, love it or hate it, but that happens to be my favorite car. Buddy of mine wanted me to build one for him, so that's what we're getting into. So we're going to try to answer the question: repair or replace? It's kind of a long debated situation. Like Project Mockingbird, you guys have seen this thing all come back together. There isn't much original sheet metal on the car anymore at this point. So the argument trying to keep as much as original, well, nothing's original on this car. So do you lean more towards just replacing pieces when they're bad, or do we still try to fix them? I guess that's kind of thing I'm trying to figure out. I've got two lower valances. We got this dark blue one. This is the car that I bought there in Pennsylvania, ripped the parts off and hauled it back. I don't know why I hauled this valance back. It's in horrible condition. But the one that's off the Mockingbird has a little problem here, and that's where we're going to get into trying to fix. And this is where that question kind of comes into play. So this thing here, obviously, not worth fixing. How dented up, how destroyed, how just distorted it is, probably not worth fixing. But I kept it, and I'm kind of glad I did now. I'm going to show you why. This is the original valance off the Mockingbird. Looks pretty good. It's going to need a little bit of twisting and hammering, but not bad. This thing takes a beating because it sits down low on the car. Now, the biggest problem I'm running into is one of the previous repairs in life of this car was they welded it right to the fender, so that it got damaged here on the edge. Well, that's kind of bad. I need that bolt hole to attach the fender and keep that pulled up really tight, because this one's bolted on, should be a nice tight line between the fender and the valance. Well, I don't have that bolt hole any longer, but guess what I have right here? So I was checking it out here, doing some investigating. This is still in really nice shape, so I think I'm going to section this off here, cut this off, weld them together, and have me a original lower valance, because both pieces of metal are technically original. That's what turns into the debate. Is it worth trying to salvage or replace? These aren't horribly expensive, but I've never bought a repop one. It's hit or miss on repop panels. I mean, we hit a home run on this thing. It all fit together really nice, but it doesn't typically work out that way. So I think this go around, I'm going to cut this off. Like I said, we're going to graft it onto there and salvage the lower valance. Okay, now first things first, I see some body filler through here. I want to see how bad that is before I start, let's say, committing to this idea. So I was going to buzz it off here real quick with a 36 grit wheel. Okay, well, it appears to be we all have, I guess maybe they put some filler in that to help cover up that weld, or they globbed it on there, but I don't feel any damage. I don't see rust necessarily. So I think we're good to go ahead and graft these two together. The thing to decide is where to cut it. I think I'm going to leave that ear intact, so I may just kind of bring it straight up where that was damaged. Just got to determine how far over I'm going to go and bring it down to this point. So that's what I'm going to try to figure out here next. And then we'll go ahead and proceed to cut that out, and it should go pretty quick. Okay, after fiddling around just a bit, I brought this line, 3.5 inches down, or 3.25 inches down from the top. We'll mark the corner, cut that straight down. I can do that, reference this point here just fine. Then what I decided to do then is on the horizontal face, come over exactly 1/4 inch, make myself a little mark. Now I brought right down to the point down here, so it's actually kind of a pie shape or a wedge as it gets down there. And to make my life a little easier, I love my tape. Mark my tape like this, put it like that, drew the line. Did the same on both of them. That way it should be really close to the same shape, and I'm going to say that should work out pretty good for us. Now I'm going to proceed to cut these both out and get ready to do the swap over. Here goes nothing, right? there's our new piece. I'm gonna clean it up just a little bit, get some of the paint and the rust off it here, but all right, so you see how this is gonna work. I think it's gonna work out just fine. All right, here we go. I got my little piece here all kind of cut, fitted, cleaned up on the edge. I'm going to weld it. I'm going to tack weld in a few spots. It's just not 100% the right shape. This thing was twisted pretty good, so I think that's part of my problem. But I believe we have what material I need here to make all this work. It will line up there. I just need to get a couple, I guess, spots welded. We'll work on hammering it into place and continue to stitch weld it. We'll get it all welded in. I think it's going to work out just fine. What I'm doing, I've kind of tacked it, keep kind of moving it up and down and line it up with the valance here, and it seems working pretty good. So now I've got it pulled here, that's nice and level. So a little, same thing. See a little tack right there. Like that. Now I can fold that over, pull it shape right into place. Now I'll do the next spot, which I'm going to call right there. Something a little more leverage. I'll get a pair of my pliers here. I gotta get this to bend down just a little bit further. All right, we'll see if we can get this to work. Maybe I'll just clamp it. There we go. Alright, I'm going to tack it right there next. Oh, too far. There we go. That was garbage anyway. That doesn't work. Now I gotta come through here now and just weld that completely solid, clean up the weld, and should be good to go. Okay, a few minutes there of welding. I just need to buff that down, level it all off, and see what we have left, but I think we just about got this thing wrapped up. All right, so let's look up all nice close. Actually, looks pretty good. I'm actually super happy with it. Got a nice clean edge here now. That should bolt up good to our fender. Got to hammer this out just a little bit. It's a little twisted still, but we'll do some hammering and dolling and some test fitting. But for the most part, I think that's a successful repair. Like it. Next step for this panel will be media blasting. As soon as I get my media blasting debacle figured out, I'll throw that panel in the pile of parts that goes and gets all cleaned up. And then when it comes back, of course, there's going to be some little dings and dents in the panel that I know, but I now consider this repairable and ready to be, sandblasted for the next step. So to answer the age-old question, repair or replace? Well, in this case, this one's repaired. Definitely replace that. It is 100% trash. When it comes to these panels, I guess if a good replacement panel is available, maybe it's a no-brainer, buy a replacement. If you got a piece that you cannot buy, then you need to find a creative way to repair. In this case here, I got about 35 minutes into this repair, and now I have an original lower valance. Still needs cleaned up, I know, but there's not that much more time involved. I really don't have any money in it because that was a piece that was thrown in the trash. Just happened to be very fortunate that I actually grabbed that off that car. So now that Firebird in Pennsylvania left at Louis has now helped save another car. There we go. One more piece of the puzzle for the Mockingbird completed and done. I have a lower valance that I can use to work on putting this car all back together, save a few bucks on parts in this situation, and had about 35 minutes wrapped up into this repair. So very fortunate to have a scrap piece to graft off. And if you could hand fab that piece relatively simple, it's not overly complicated, it probably would add an hour or so to your labor. So keep that in mind when you're trying to figure out repair, replace, that age-old question, which way to go. Now, if this is a super rare, low number, like Ram Air 4 car or something like that, maybe try to use all original panels. It's not. 352 barrel, going to be transformed into a Trans Am clone. It's just not even an original car. So in this case, I don't fret too much about that, keeping it as original as possible. I mean, you spend a lot of time trying to do that. For what reason, It's just something I wanted to share with you here. Got that all patched up. Got plenty more stuff heading your way. Feeling a lot better. Weather's doing a little more gooder outside, so maybe I leave this door open and enjoy some fresh air and keep on plugging away on the Project Mockingbird. So whatever we're going to get into next time, I don't know exactly 100% yet, but you definitely know it's going to be part of getting this car back on the road, and I hope to see you guys then.